stuck inside a chimney. In Tucson, Arizona, an incident occurred that had firefighters running to the scene. Contrary to what you might be thinking, it wasn't a crime scene or anything like that. The victim of the incident was, as a matter of fact, the house's owner. But how did he end up inside a chimney? It's very likely that the homeowner decided to head out, so he came out of his house and locked his front door. However, just after he had locked his front door, he remembered that the keys were still inside the house. If I find myself in that situation, the next best thing would be to call a locksmith. If I'm in so much of a hurry, I could break into the house via the window. After all, it's my house. But this man from Tucson decided it'd be easier to go into the house via the chimney. Unfortunately, he got stuck on his way down and had to remain inside the chimney for about 4 hours. Save for a neighbor who heard him screaming, he probably would have been there for much longer. The neighbor heard him, then called the fire department, who successfully wriggled him out of the chimney. Thankfully, the man didn't suffer any serious injuries, and I must say, he sure is lucky that a neighbor heard him. What if Tucson isn't as we know it today, densely populated and busier? No doubt he'd have been there for a longer time. Number 9. Stuck inside a vending machine. If you've heard of the YouTuber TGF Bro, you already know where I'm headed. TGF Bro is famous for his many challenge videos, even in the strangest places. In this video, he goes into the woods with his friends and locks himself in a vending machine. At first, it seems like fun as his friends begin ordering snacks from the vending machine. However, when they decide to take things up a notch, it leaves TGF Bro with nothing but fear and worry. His friends begin to leave one after the other, and despite TGF Bro calling for help countless times and pleading with them not to leave him, they do not listen. Thankfully, although stuck inside the vending machine, TGF Bro managed to call another friend of his to come to his rescue. Eventually, that friend arrives with a hammer to break open the vending machine, so TGF Bro could come out. Apparently, the vending machine had been locked, and TGF Bro had no way of opening it. This event led many to believe that TGF Bro would tone down the danger level of his challenges. But nah, this is TGF Bro we're talking about. Number 8. Stuck inside a claw machine. Did you ever do crazy things as a child because you wanted something badly? I think every adult has that one story. So in this clip, a young girl went to the arcades with her parents and pointed out that she wanted to get a toy from the claw machine. When she figured that her parents weren't listening to her and had no intention of getting her what she wanted, she did this. She climbed into the claw machine through the slot where you collect your toys. Knowing how claw machines are designed, there was no other way anybody knew she could get out except via the same way she got in. So when her parents and the people around her noticed that she was inside the machine, they began to persuade her to come out. Everybody knows talking to children and actually getting them to listen requires patience. So before the girl decided to crawl out of the claw machine, her mom had to threaten her with the fire department. Frightened by her mother's threat, the child decided it was time to come out. But before she got out, she did something interesting. She threw a toy out of the machine to give it to her dad.